Do you want to know how to handle painful and heavy periods? Now, this video is the right video for you. Maybe you're a guy or a girl. Please stay tuned and watch. I'll be sharing you tips and as well as very helpful guidelines to handle painful and heavy periods. Now, let's go quickly. I have a short story for you. Now, there's a woman, a mother precisely, of a young teenage girl who hospitably complaining about her daughter's lazy attitude anytime she was on her period. Her daughter had this lazy attitude anytime she was on her period. She usually didn't want to do anything at all. She always exempted herself from house chores and work. And so her mother was so angry and felt as if the girl was pretending, because the mother felt, I have periods too, and it doesn't knock my back on the ground. I can still do other things. So she thought her daughter was pretending. Not until they were able to go to the hospital, because the pain became so excessive one morning and the girl was in so much pain and they had to go to the hospital. Getting to the hospital, they found out that the girl had an infection, and that is the reason why she suffered from such very extremely painful periods. Now, women around the world have different period cycles, and the pain threshold differs from person to person. The experiences people have on their periods are very different and they are individual. They are all unique, and that is why I'm here to discuss painful and heavy periods. Now, let's just quickly go to what painful periods are. Painful periods are periods that come with excessive uterine contractions, because uterine contractions is where the period pain comes from, which may be as a result of pelvic inflammatory disease or very excessive or severe pain that disrupts the person on her period from going about her normal daily life. And very, very painful periods are common among women. Women are stopped from having their daily activities. Some women even have to be admitted during their period cycles. Now, how do you handle painful periods? Painful periods can be so much for a lady, and they can come with a lot of difficulties. Now, it's important to manage or try to cure these painful periods. First thing to do is seeing a doctor. I cannot overemphasize the importance of seeing a doctor. Like the story I shared, the lady suffered from painful periods because she had an infection. Now, you cannot say what is wrong with you exactly, or you cannot say the reason why you're having very painful periods. So it's important that you see a doctor each time maybe you have had consecutive very painful periods. It's important that you see a doctor. It could be due to a number of reasons. Painful period can come from poor dieting, it can come from an infection, and it can come from genetics as well. It's important to see a doctor, as they have the best solution that they can give you. However, aside seeing a doctor, here are the other tips that you can take or you can follow. We have using pain reliever. Using pain reliever during your period when you have painful periods can go a long way in subsiding the pain and making you feel better. However, it is important that you do not use over-the-counter drugs or self-medication. It's important to get recommendation or prescription from a pharmacist, gynecologist, or a doctor. It's also important to apply heat therapy. Now, heat therapy helps with your period. You can apply heat therapy in the following ways. You can use hot water bottle, that is filling a bottle with water, wrapping it around the towel and putting it on your stomach. You can also use a heat pad device, which you can acquire from a shop, buy it, and then some of these heat pads work with electricity, some work with battery. You can just apply it and then it helps subsidize the pain. You can also take very warm or hot liquids. This can also help with the heat therapy. Also, when handling painful periods, it's important to exercise your body. However, a lot of women shun away from this part because they feel like cramping up or folding yourself inside the blanket all day helps the pain. While in reverse, it doesn't really help. It's good that you get up and walk a little, maybe raise your hands a little and just do a little exercise. You can check out YouTube videos for exercises during your period. It can be really helpful. And also, when handling painful periods, it's important to prioritize healthy diets. Now, I want you to know that healthy diets is not just what you eat during your period but before your period, because your diet has a lot to do with your period. Little or too much dieting little or too much intake of food can cause painful period, and also taking in wrong things during and before the period can cause painful periods. For example, during your period, you should avoid things that have caffeine, alcohol, or soda. You should avoid those things because they would aggravate the pain during the period. Also, it's important to stay hydrated during your period. This is because you lose a lot of blood during your period, and so some amount of fluid is leaving your body. So it's important that you give back your body this fluid by taking a lot of water. And also, another tip to cope with painful periods is relaxation technique. It's important to relax your body when you're in your period. And this is a very unpopular tip that I'll be sharing next, is managing your emotions during your period. When you're having very painful periods, you can be very irritable, you can be angry, you can be sad, you can be moody, some even burst into tears. But it's important that you take control of your emotions, because talking to the people around you rashly or just doing things anyhow because of your emotions doesn't make you feel better in any way. But calming down and trying to take charge of how you feel can really help you manage your period. And if you feel like this is too much for you to handle, just try and stay away from people as much as you can, so that you don't affect other people with what is going on with you. I just hope that you'll be able to take these steps. Now, managing heavy periods. What are heavy periods? Heavy period is also known as menorrhagia. It is the excessive flow of blood during menstruation. Now, when your periods are the flow is too heavy, you can say you have to change your pad as often as an hour. That is a very heavy flow. Or as often as 2 hours or 30 minutes. Or you can't even use pads during your period. You have to use double or triple pads. That is a heavy period. And it's important that you visit a doctor, because, like I mentioned, for painful periods, it may be as a result of an infection, it may be genetic, it can be caused by a lot of reasons. So it's important that you consult a doctor. The doctor will give you the best medication to be able to curb that heavy periods. There are also different methods the doctors could use. We have hormonal patches, we have tranexamic acid. Please don't take any medications or supplements without your doctor's recommendation or prescription. Also, when handling heavy periods, you can also take iron supplements, which will help replenish the blood that your body has lost. But like I said earlier, always get prescription from the doctor or pharmacist before going ahead with all this kind of supplements. And very, very important, if I do not mention anything important on this video today, before I say that important thing, just subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this video, and of course, give me my like. Alright, now, prioritizing hygiene. When you have heavy periods, it is super important to prioritize heavy hygiene, because the more the flow, the more your body will smell. So it's important to manage it. But how do you manage hygiene on your heavy periods? Please go back to my couple videos I have made on the period series. You're going to see a lot of tips to help you with hygiene during your period, heavy, light or not. So I hope that after watching this video, you'll feel better and have more information on your periods. And I hope that on your next period, you feel much better than you used to. Have a nice one. Bye.